Hello, everybody. At BAM, we believe that marketing and ethics must go hand in hand, especially when it comes to innovation, such as AI. AI is transforming marketing faster than ever. It opens up incredible opportunities, but also it brings real responsibilities. That's why a few months ago, BAM contributed to the AI and Ethical Charter created by FEDMA to help marketers navigate this fast-changing landscape with confidence, integrity, and care for the people behind the data. In this webinar, we invited Karine Ysebrant, a passionate voice in ethical marketing and part of the BAM think tank Ethics. She will guide us through what the Charter means, why it matters, and how it can be applied in daily practices to give you, as a marketeer, the tools that you need. Because this is not just about the rules, it's about building trust, making smart choices, and shaping the future where marketing stays human and meaningful. Let's dive in, and we hope you enjoy it.
Now, let's start with our first guest, Florent Diverchy. Florent and I worked closely together on the development of the Ethical AI-powered marketing charter, combining our perspectives to shape both its ethical vision and practical structure. Before we hear from him, let me briefly walk you through the structure of the charter. Very simple. It's composed of 5 main chapters, each addressing a key dimension of ethical marketing in the age of AI. So let's start with chapter 1 that Florent has chosen to focus on, human-centric AI. And it will more specifically focus on 2 fundamental principles. The first one, human oversight, and the second one, transparency and accountability. So let's look at the first principle, human oversight. What does that mean, simply put? It is simple. It means that even when we use AI, humans must always stay in control. So AI systems should help people make better decisions, not replace them. The information provided by the AI should be clear, relevant, and understandable, not hidden behind layers of technical complexity. So, for example, if a recommendation engine suggests a product, or if a predictive model changes a price, marketers should always be aware, that's first, understand why the system does that, and be able to decide if they agree or not with the AI's decision. And for the consumer, they should be reassured that humans are in control. So we don't need full algorithmic breakdown, but we do need transparency and accountability so we can make informed and responsible choices. This is important because trust in AI starts with clarity, and that clarity must be designed for users, not just for data scientists. So now, let's meet Florent and hear why he believes these points are essential.
I decided to talk about those one because I think those are quite important for us at BAM, quite focused on the meaningful framework that we try to put forward for our members. When we talk about ethics to our consumers, we see that there's a lot of different points that are important for them. Information, transparency, free consent, and so on. But transparency is really one that they're pushing forward. And we have to say that when we look at the text of the AI Act, there is indeed some guidelines about transparency, but those guidelines are not always mandatory. If you look at the way it's defined in the AI Act, all the usage of AI are categorized in 4 different categories. You've got the low and minimal risk, which has absolutely no obligation of transparency. You've got the limited risk, which has to do something in terms of transparency. You've got the high risk, so all the usage that I risk for human, for which the transparency needs and expectation are even higher. And finally, you've got, of course, the unacceptable risk, which are totally prohibited. And when you look at the definition that is given to those 4 different levels, you could somehow ask yourself where marketing is going to be considered.
Crucial question indeed.
Yeah, when you think about marketing, you might think that what we do is quite it's something quite benign, not harmful, and so we should be considered as the lowest category of risk for which the transparency is not necessary. But when you look at the definition that I put here in this pyramid, you see that for the categories which require higher transparency, the text asks that on your website, next to your privacy policy, you also have to put an AI policy that is really going to explain how AI is going to be used in your business, in your brand, and all its ecosystem. And when you look at those four definitions, you could ask yourself, when I'm doing anything related to marketing like online ads, maybe I'm on the lowest and minimal risk as defined in the text. But when you think a bit further, when you see that chatbots interacting with humans can be seen as a limited risk, what about the chatbots that we are going to use for customer service, for example?
Yeah.
And even more problematic, when we talk about categorization of natural person being a high risk, what about segmentation, which is, of course, a core value of marketing? And so when you look at the pyramid like that, you could ask yourself, do we need to be transparent, or is it not necessary for us? Regarding that, our position at BAM is that it doesn't cost a lot to be transparent. We decided to create, together with this charter, a template of AI policy, because we think that simply by taking this template, filling it with the exact way the AI is used in the ecosystem of the brand, it can be an easy way, not too costly, to provide extra information to the consumer and to decide to be transparent, not as a legal obligation, but as an ethical choice.
Yeah, indeed. And that's very important that brands show this ethical choice. Can you explain why it's so important when you consider it?
Well, we think that even if it seems like a philosophical choice, it's much more than that, because when you're doing marketing, one of the things that you want to do is to differentiate yourself from the competitors. And so we believe that if we are being more transparent by showing an AI policy when it's not mandatory, it will be an extra way to show that we are different from the competition, and so to create bigger bonds, stronger bonds between the consumer and us. And so it will be an extra way to ensure that the relationship between this consumer and us will be a long-time one.
Yeah, sure. And it's very much a question of respect shown to the consumer. Transparency is, as you said, one of the core value of the charter and of marketing in general. So thank you for underlining that. It has been our very high concern, Florent, Yvan, and myself, to build this charter. So thank you very much, Florent.
It's always a pleasure, Karine.
I hope it will inspire all our members and marketers in Belgium and who knows, abroad.
Yeah, let's hope. See you, Karine.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Florent. Bye-bye.